another evidence of, I think, what's kind of broken in our governmental system, because we have a group of people that are imposing a very significant cost to the livelihoods of people who are struggling currently. And so when you add this kind of significant cost that's part of their day-to-day operation, it's going to result in cost cutting. My district, it impacts probably a little more than some of the districts, because I live and represent an area that's more rural. And most of their jobs, they have to drive a distance. They don't drive out of convenience, they drive out of necessity. And it's a significant part of their budget, their family budget, which is about half of what the California average is. We're about $30,000 a year per capita. And
for the income of the people
for the income in my district. And the state average is 70. So we're definitely significantly below. And also, when we talk about the demographics in my district, we're over 50% Hispanic and 15% African American. So we're a very diverse community. People think that rural area is just a bunch of redneck people that live out in the sticks. That's inaccurate. It's not the truth. And so we represent all of California and what's good about California, what's good about America, but yet we have these decisions that are hurting these people in a very significant way, because to them it's just a few cents a gallon. But to these people, it's dollars to their regular cost. And that means something's going to be cut. They're already putting certain necessities on credit card. They're doing that now. And so when we compound it with these regulatory circumstances, it's going to be very painful. And that's why I went to the CARB meeting to plead with them that, and shared with them some of these facts, that they would consider these facts before they imposed this regulatory crunch that's going to be impacting our people in such a significant way. And we had at least 2 members that heard us. We had 2 people that voted against it out of 12. But we need to work on this. But here's the part of the problem, is when you have bureaucrats that are accountable not to the public, that makes it easier for them to make those kind of impositions. And we need the public to be more aware of becoming active and being voices in their own behalf.
And do people drive more in your community?
Yeah, I would say, for example, one of the more populated parts of my district is where I live. And it's called the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster region. And I know, as my prior profession with the California Highway Patrol, I'm very aware our commuter traffic starts about 4 or 4:30 in the morning. And they average over 90 miles a commute per day.
Wow.
And so you can imagine what the fuel cost is. And here's the other thing that you should consider, is not all of them have fuel-efficient cars. Over half of our district is driving a car $5,000 or less, worth $5,000 or less. So they're struggling.
Half of your district?
Yes. Half of my district has a vehicle that's worth $5,000 or less. And so they're having difficulty. And I don't think that difficulty is really understood by, I mean, we want clean air, we want clean water, and we're not against transitioning towards electric vehicles, but that's a whole nother problem. It doesn't fit our commuter situation. As we live out in the desert, access to electricity and recharge stations is a problem. And not only that, but the range, the fuel range is about 162 miles at the entrance level electric vehicle. And they start at about $30,000 a year. And the fuel range, as you can see, when we have 90 miles being the average, some being more than that, it takes time also to charge those vehicles. And time is already being absorbed in the commute situation. And so it's time away from the family, time that has to be budgeted, as well as the cost. So there are all these very serious circumstances that I don't think have been thought through by policymakers.